fellas, we can be that mistake. Let's do this.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, guys?
We're Embrace the Suck 21.
Yes, we are.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Daniel.
We learning today.
Yes. I love that. They ripped hard on me and I was like, we're gonna get learned today, and everyone's like, oh, you mean taught? Like, of course we mean get taught.
Yes. We are checking out American things Europeans can't understand.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting.
Only one way to see what this is about.
I'm here for these comparison stuff. I love them.
He's always fun to check out.
Yep.
Yeah, we're generally like more sports and music and TV shows, but it's fun to do these every now and again.
Of course. Let's do it.
While the culture of the United States is exported all over the world in films and on TV, it also abides by some laws and practices that many consider unusual. Europeans in particular seem to have a hard time wrapping their heads around some of them. From child beauty pageants to gun laws, let's take a look at some American things that Europeans can't understand.
Yeah, strap in.
Yep.
Sick of commercials. If you're a European enjoying a cozy night in on the couch in America, some of the stuff on TV may shock and surprise you. And no, I'm not talking about Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I'm talking about commercials, which arrive so frequently it makes watching TV feel almost unbearable to anyone unaccustomed to it.
Seals leaks instantly. Use it on...
Especially pharmaceutical commercials, which usually show grumpy men and women turned into smiling, happy people by the product being sold. These are usually followed by an almost comically long list of potential side effects spoken at double speed, like Ambien ad.
As well as abnormal behaviors such as being more outgoing or aggressive than normal, confusion, agitation, and hallucinations may occur. Don't take it with alcohol as it may increase these behaviors. Allergic reactions such as shortness of breath, swelling of your tongue or throat may occur and in rare cases may be fatal. Side effects may include next day drowsiness, dizziness, and headache. In patients with depression, worsening of depression including risk of suicide may occur.
These types of direct-to-consumer commercials peddle prescription drugs, which is an advertising standard that was rejected by the European Commission back in 2002.
Awesome.
The Commission stated that pharmaceutical companies were unable to provide impartial information on their medicines. If that's the case, why is it practiced in America? To put it simply, there's simply never been a federal law passed to outlaw the practice. This is in no small part thanks to the fact that direct-to-consumer drugs and their accompanying ads are a huge business. And in America, whether it's right or wrong, the rules tend to follow the money. Europeans might actually need a pill for the headache all those ads give them. May cause dizziness, loss of limbs, telepathic powers, and a violent hatred of cheese.
Yep.
It's that part kills me.
Yeah.
When they rattle off the side effects, like no one's listening. You're
They're trying to skirt past it. Like, I just want my headache gone, but but they want to skirt past the fact that I might shit myself.
Diarrhea is not a side effect. Diarrhea is its own thing.
Yeah, that's its own
All right,
thing.
that is not a side effect.
Nope, not at all.
Like, a pill can make me have diarrhea. Like, hey man, fuck your medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh man.
What they said about like money pretty much drives everything. Yeah, that's true. We've said that on the channel before.
Yep.
And we've talked about like the Super Bowl and like our sports. Like a lot of people have brought up that they can't stand all the commercials, especially like in UK and Europe, all the rest of the world. Like that's just not something that they're used to, and they're not. That makes it just unwatchable for them.
No, I feel like once you cross the pond here, everything is ruled by money.
It is.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Exactly.
And we've just been beaten to accept that.
Yeah. It's. And in fact, when we even advertise our Patreon, we get comments that are like, "It's a scam.
It's a scam.
You're selling out." Like that's just ingrained in us, and most people like that's just a vocal minority that says that.
Yeah.
It's like just. Most people will either, if they want to do it, they'll do it. If they're not, they'll just keep scrolling like a normal, decent fucking human being does.
What? Those don't exist.
Sure, seriously.
No place like home. Let's say you're a European who's just moved over to America. You found a house in a nice residential neighborhood, and you're going through your bills. Rent, water, gas, electric, all seems in order. But wait a second. What's a Homeowners Association?
Yeah.
To a native, that's a pretty obvious question. But for Europeans, it's an unwelcome surprise. These fees contributes to the local Homeowners Association, which is somewhat like a neighborhood watch, but managing funds to be reinvested into the community. It goes towards things like residential maintenance and common spaces, which keeps residents happy and property values up. With around 24% of all Americans living under a homeowners association, they pay $200 to $300 on average per month in fees to these entities. Now, while some Europeans might struggle with this concept, it was a form of governance that was actually invented by France back in 1804. The condominium law was exported to the US, where it became incredibly popular. So, for any European that wants to complain about homeowner regulations and fees, feel free to blame the French.
Okay, F you, French, for doing
Yeah.
that.
I get it. But that's why where I live, we love the fact that there's no HOA.
That is great.
Yeah. That means I can build a fence, take down a fence, build a wall, take down a wall, whatever I want.
That's great.
I love that.
I love that. And I hope when my wife and I finally get out of our apartment, we live somewhere where there's no HOA. That way, I can start a community garden in my front lawn, and nobody can tell me what to do.
In your front lawn, well, I guess that's
Yeah.
the place to start a community garden.
Yeah. Anybody can take what they want. Come on. Why not? Here's a
Yes.
touchy subject here.
Vacation. What is it? Vacant vacation days.
Vacant vacation days.
All right.
Vacant vacation days. The USA has one of the largest economies in the world. A tremendous economy, in the president's words. But Europeans looking to get into the American world of work are often shocked when it comes to vacation time. US workers are not entitled to mandatory paid vacation at all. Usually, the issue of paid leave is left at the discretion of employers. And yes, that does include national holidays. According to research from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2017, only 77% of American workers had access to paid vacation. Now, the reason that might leave Europeans slack-jawed is because mandatory paid vacation time in Europe starts at 4 weeks. In fact,
Wow.
America is one of the only Western countries where law doesn't enforce companies to give its employees mandatory paid vacation time. Don't believe me? Take a look at this map breaking down mandatory paid vacation time by country.
Wow.
Only the great countries are known not to give paid time off. It's a working culture that undoubtedly favors employers over employees. Americans might want to think about learning Chinese instead, as employers in China must legally offer 5 days of holiday. Although that is after one continuous year of work. Win some, lose some, I guess.
Oh my God.
Wow. Even China has us beat. That's.
Ugh.
I mean, most of the products we buy in Walmart are made in China, so.
Yeah. It's appalling. We are overworked, underpaid. Across the board, all the time.
Yeah.
And underappreciated.
Oh, yeah.
That is across the board.
Oh, yeah.
So great companies are learning to invest in their employees.
Yeah.
That's who has staying power. Could you imagine 4 weeks of
Yeah.
vacation?
That would be amazing. Imagine the things you could get done. And, like, how little guilt you would have, say, if your son got sick.
Yeah. You only have a week of paid vacation. That's after putting in serious time at a company.
Yeah.
It usually starts the next year. Is you get that week.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
That's insane.
Florida man. If the American states could be looked at as a dysfunctional family, then Florida would be the weird uncle who once ran away with the circus and wrestled a tiger. The Sunshine State is the third most populous state in the USA and receives over 100 million visitors year on year. With so many people living between Miami Beach, Disneyland, and Pensacola, a little crazy is bound to be found on the fringes of society. But what Europeans aren't prepared for are the crazy antics of Floridians that make daily headlines. From Florida man believed that he was half man, half dog in March 2019 to Florida man robs bank, strips naked, then runs down the street throwing stolen money everywhere in July 2017. You can search the internet for almost any day of the year and find a headline announcing Florida man has committed an utterly baffling crime. There doesn't seem to be an equivalent for any European countries, although the UK comes close with some of its questionable journalism topics like
Britain's fattest woman ate fridge and died.
Let me know the
So, Now, according to this, Britain is the Florida of Europe.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I don't think anyone could fall that far. Florida man. And I was listening to something recently on why Florida man exists. The judicial system is quicker at giving public access to crimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you don't have to dig. It's like, boom, public knowledge right off the bat.
Yeah.
Whereas on the upper, I would say a lot of the other states you can't release that story until it's gone to trial.
Right.
So you could be accused of something and headline.
Yeah. Right.
Like instantly.
Yeah, because so the TLDR is information travels faster in Florida when it comes to crime.
Yeah.
That's why you see all those stories.
Yeah.
You don't see Maryland man or
Maryland man.
Colorado man.
Get salmonella after catching crabs.
VAT trouble. In Europe, like most of the world, tax is built into the price of items in-store and online. So what you see on the tag is what you pay. But Europeans visiting an American store might be left doing a double take at their bill when they reach the register.
Yep.
There's no national sales tax or value-added tax in America. Instead, American taxes differ by jurisdiction, of which there are around 7,000. Differences in these local rates, state taxes, or combined state and local taxes means that final prices for the same item can differ from one street to the next. For first-time shoppers in the U.S., this unpleasant surprise is a rite of passage that no one asked for. Tipping point. A meal at a restaurant can be a real treat, but Europeans visiting America sometimes stress about the tip. Although tipping anywhere up to 20% seems normal to most Americans, there's no such obligation in Europe. Indeed, it's mostly seen as a bonus reward for good service, and in some European countries, it's even considered rude and excessive to leave a tip. The American federal government, however, states that tips can be used to satisfy the difference between the employee's hourly wage and the standard minimum wage. This means food servers, valets, and in-house staff in certain states can be working for a federal wage of just $2.13 per hour, which is about €1.96. So if you're a European visitor to the States, get ready to factor in your tip to the overall price of your meal. You might well be contributing to a struggling waiter's rent.
But, my thing is, that's why there's so many youth in that kind of job.
Yeah, that's why it's mostly a college or high school job. It's not really... If an adult is working in that profession, it's either... Management or they're in a more higher-end restaurant or service industry type thing. They've worked their way up.
Yeah.
But at the bottom, the fact that that's legal is, criminal.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I can see why a lot of Europeans, in everywhere else in the world, where the restaurant workers are paid a decent wage instead of that, they would find that off-putting.
Well, yeah, because they assume that everyone's making decent money. Not there, not here. Tend to supplement the wage.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Yeah,
because I'm already going to your restaurant that you have your workers working for, and you're not paying them, so I have to pay them as well as pay you. Mm-hmm. That's wild.
Yeah.
But that's the world we grew up in.
Yeah. As someone who does gigs in restaurants, and I've talked to a lot of wait staff and a lot of bar staff, and they never have weekends off, and they are a lot of times they're just scraping by.
Yep.
And
barely paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah. That's why they rely so heavily on tips.
Yep.
That's why you get a lot of freebies. You get a lot of very good service in America because they are dependent on tips.
They're working on that for that tip.
Yeah,
Instead of working for the restaurant, they're working for the tip.
Yeah.
Child beauty pageants. If you've ever been unfortunate enough to have watched an episode of Toddlers and Tiaras on TLC, I think you might side with the Europeans on the next matter. Child beauty pageants are common across America and usually consist of dolled-up little girls being thrust onto a stage to entertain a crowd of screaming moms. It's truly bizarre, but what's equally strange is how the craze got started. Child pageants originated from American Better Baby contests in the early 20th century. Babies would be scored on characteristics like weight, quality of skin, and face shape, supposedly in the name of helping to educate mothers on best practices for healthy babies. But of course, it wasn't just for education purposes. There were also cash rewards and trophies for top-ranking toddlers. This has slowly devolved into the bedazzled tradition of pushing a child on stage in full makeup and styled hair to do a dance routine for prize money. Although some European countries host similar but smaller events, others like France have gone as far as to ban all such pageants, claiming they're an unhealthy way to treat young girls. If you ask me, their general creepiness alone should be enough to slam the brakes on child beauty pageants. Honey Boo Boo? No thanks.
I find that super weird. What about you?
Yeah, to me, it's. I think the whole thing is disgusting.
It is. And
I'm like,
it teaches young girls at a young age that their value is tied to how they look and how they can perform, and that's not good.
I just feel like they're missing being kids.
Yeah.
Because of that shit. Mm-hmm. Because that's not their default. Then they're not just being kids like, you know what, I would love to be on stage. No they want to be playing and doing kid shit.
Right, they want to be kids.
Yeah.
Be actual kids.
Not that, so.
Yeah, which kind of ties into a trend that's, I don't know if it's just centric to America, but, you know, these family YouTube channels that, you know, where their kids are being filmed all the time, doing stuff.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, like...
That's wild. Like, I try not to have Alexander on my channel too much.
Yeah.
But my channel it will be for him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not talking about that.
But I feel like you shouldn't. A child's childness should be protected.
Right. You're just sharing, like, stuff that he's done on his own accord.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not forcing him to do anything.
No. He's just being him.
Yeah, you're not ponying him for clickbaits and
clicks. You will hit this mark and tell me dialogue, and then 20 seconds sharp, turn around, leave building. Like, no.
Yeah, you're not doing that. I'm not. Yeah, I wasn't trying to criticize you for that.
No, but I feel like I have a kid. I understand. Like, that being a child should be protected by all adults.
Yeah.
Keep children at all costs possible.
Yeah. I would be interested to see, like, in 15 and 20 years' time, when some of these kids that have had cameras in front of their faces from mommy and daddy, how they act in school.
They're going to probably be...
That's why I got out
It's not healthy. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
It's not healthy.
That's why I got out of education.
Yeah.
Size is everything. According to an old saying, everything's bigger in Texas. But if you're a European, you'll probably think that about all of America, right down to its people.
Yep.
It's no secret that America has a little bit of a weight problem. 2/3 of American adults classify as overweight, and it's estimated that almost 40% of adults in the U.S. aged 20 and over are obese. Contrasted to Europe, where a survey carried out in 2014 labeled just 15% of adults obese. That's a king-size difference, with
Huge.
a side of fries. The American tendency to overeat might have something to do with portion sizes in the States. A study comparing portions in Paris and Philadelphia revealed food outlet portions were 25% larger in Philly. And a review of 17 different single-serve foods like yogurt and candy bars found that 14 of them were bigger in Philadelphia. While a one-state to one-country comparison doesn't necessarily represent the whole, Europeans on social media often comment on how much bigger everything seems stateside.
I mean, yeah. That's part of the American way, is Big Macs and Big Whoppers and
but
super size.
But at the same time, like, we're still human beings.
Right.
And we should still all get full at the same way.
Yeah.
Eating to not die or eating in excess. Like, you have to burn off what you eat.
Right.
And a lot of times here, since we have a very low pedestrian workforce...
Right. Like,
we're not walking to work. We're all driving to work. Mm-hmm. There is no calorie exertion in, like, I would say 80% of the jobs that are being done.
Right.
And the only time you're really not working off what you're eating.
Right. You're not.
And the more you eat, the more space is created by your body to create more room for the next load.
Correct.
It's a perfect storm.
Yeah. we're not walking to work. Like we haven't built our cities to be walkable.
No, but you would take the average New Yorker
Yeah.
that has to walk, and they're
Yeah.
a lot thinner than bumfuck Alabama,
Yeah, or my hometown.
where there is no walking to work.
Yeah, you have to drive. Yeah.
And so those people out in the country are going to be a little bit bigger than the people that walk blocks a day to get to work.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It's just how it is.
That's how it is. It's just calorie intake versus calorie burning. I mean, you're not going to see a lot of obese bricklayers.
No.
You're going to see a lot of bigger bankers
Exactly.
because they're not crushing it at the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just but I get that though. I think the study of obesity rate in America is it's a very diverse thing. I feel like there's two spectrums that are very interesting. We have the most unfit people within the same block as the most fit people.
Yeah.
For every dude that's getting 2 value meals, there is 10 people running like 5Ks. It's wild. It's wild. But anyway, yeah. So I'm off my soapbox.
All right.
My soapbox.
Soapbox, it makes the same sense.
Yep.
Oh, sugar.
There we
Living in
go.
America can really give you a taste for the sweet life, but your teeth won't thank you for it. Why? Well, some American foods and drinks have been found to contain huge amounts of sugar compared to their European equivalents. Some common bread brands contain up to 6 grams of sugar per serving, 6 times the amount found in
Wow.
European
Really?
counterparts.
Wow.
But it doesn't end there. Taking a look at Pizza Hut's sugar content reveals most of their stateside pizzas have close to double the amount of sugar per slice as European versions.
Interesting.
And in Starbucks, a UK venti white chocolate mocha will contain 62.4 grams of sugar. But in America, that shoots up to 72 grams. I've heard of sweetening the deal, but any Europeans making the trip across the Atlantic might leave suffering from the toothache.
That's very interesting because I never knew about the bread thing. Our first fry up, or even the Marmite video where they said that bread looks too sweet, or our breads are too sweet. And I'm like, I never associated bread with sugar.
Right, because we're used to that.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of hidden sugar in a lot of foods. That's why in America, that's what makes them so addictive. Is it's just that little thing in the background, and you don't really taste it, but it keeps you coming back for more, and that contributes to the problem that we discussed in the last segment.
Previously.
Yeah, copy
I
and
mean,
paste.
But I'm amazed how much sugar we actually use in everything. Pizza Hut, I would never have thought that.
Yeah.
Why so much? I mean, you're a cook. Why put sugar in a pizza?
Flavor.
That's it?
Addictiveness.
That's it.
Keep you buying more.
It doesn't affect the cooking of pizza.
Not exactly. I mean, you can put sugar on top of a piece of dough and like torch it, and it'll make a nice caramel brulee. But like,
it doesn't affect the product though.
No, like unless you like dump a crap ton of sugar, i.e. the big teaspoon in there, then you won't know a difference.
Okay.
Gaps in the market. European standards of building a public restroom involve plenty of privacy, mainly in the form of cubicles with doors that are more door than gap. Seems obvious, but it's a standard that Americans just can't seem to adopt. With ridiculously large gaps at the top, bottom, and sides, it makes for a truly uncomfortable first visit to an American toilet for unwitting visitors. On their first time, Europeans are left feeling especially susceptible to unwelcome visitors and peeping Toms. Some people even resort to taping up the gap to prevent prying eyes looking in.
Wow.
But as strange as the design seems, there are some theories as to why Americans build their stalls this way. For a start, high floor gaps allow for easier cleaning, and they do make it simpler to pass toilet paper from one cubicle to another. On top of that, the vertical gaps act as a deterrent for anyone thinking of doing anything naughty behind closed doors. But there's always the chance you might accidentally get a real eyeful. Maybe just close your eyes before entering any American restrooms.
What I was told is that it's meant to make you feel uncomfortable so that workers there don't pass out or do stupid shit on the toilet. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not. It's meant to be in and out, not in and stay.
Right.
It's very airy. In fact, some places are way too airy.
Yeah, it makes you want to get out of there.
It makes you want to get out. Not, you're on your 20-minute break. You shouldn't spend 20 minutes on the toilet on your phone. So,
right.
Like that I understand that. But other countries, that shit's like a wall. It's a room.
Right.
So I get that. That would be very uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Triggered.
Oh,
It
here we
strikes
go.
many Europeans as a bit odd that in America you can pick up your groceries from one aisle of a store and a gun from another. Indeed, you can buy guns over the counter in places like Walmart, and ammo can be found in pharmacies. But seeing as guns are still legal in many parts of Europe, what is it that Europeans find weird about the gun-loving, rifle-wielding, Second Amendment-touting American citizen? It might have something to do with America's gun-related death rate, seeing as per capita, there were 12 gun-related deaths for every 100,000 people in America in 2017. Very few European countries exceed 3 gun-related deaths per 100,000 people, and none even come close to America's 12 per 100,000. The causes of the problem are fiercely debated, but it might have something to do with how easy it is to buy a gun. Background checks are usually carried out, but a research survey from Harvard in 2015 estimated that a third of American gun owners have purchased a firearm without a background check. In Europe, many countries like Austria and Germany require would-be gun owners to go through a rigorous 7-step procedure before owning a gun. High-caliber handguns are outright banned in the UK, and many categories of semi-automatic weapons are illegal to own across Europe. It's simply much harder to legally purchase a gun in Europe than it is in the US, which I'm sure is a trigger point for some.
The floor is yours. I'm listening.
How do I get on this soapbox and get off this soapbox safely? I believe personally a gun is a tool, and like every tool should be approached with an amount of respect. You wouldn't just jump on a table saw without knowing how to use it.
Right.
Because it could cause serious damage. With that being said, I view training on a said weapon to be paramount. Mm-hmm. If you have no... I'm all over the place in my mind because this is one of those massive... Guys, this is a massive argument here.
Yeah, and you have a dog in this fight.
I do. But at the same time, I'm not representative of everyone in this. I'm on one side, but I also see the other side. Mm-hmm. The people in this country that own like 40 fucking guns. Why do you need to own that many? I don't know.
Yeah.
You like guns? Fine. That's still the most valid argument you have.
Yeah.
You like them? Good. Have them. Great. Mm-hmm. Knowing how to use them is where I draw the line. But as far as background checks, they've gotten a lot harder. A lot harder.
That I like that. That's good.
The fact that you can't... People think you can just walk into Walmart and walk out. Walmart, I think they've stopped selling.
Yeah, for the most part, they've stopped selling guns.
Unless you're Bible Belt Walmart. Like
even then, they've stopped. Yeah.
Really?
But for the most part, like my hometown, you can't go back into that Walmart and buy a gun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, now even Walmart's process to purchasing a firearm is still a long line. Like you can't. Yeah. There's no more of this in and out. That's gone across the board. Mm-hmm. The only time you can go in and out is if you purchased a weapon from said establishment before and you have something on file that you've done, and you're purchasing something that doesn't require a 7-day wait. Mm-hmm. Handguns are really hard to buy. That is a background check and a half.
Yeah.
They don't just hand those out. That's a long list. Fingerprinting classes, all that shit is required before you purchase. Buying vegetables and buying a gun, those days are gone.
Yeah, they're gone. Like that doesn't happen anymore. And as someone on the other side of it, like my fear, but also I grew up in a small town, and like I know that using those rifles, those are for hunting, and all the people I knew that owned them didn't have any malice.
Yeah.
No malicious intentions.
Yep.
Like they weren't going to come into the school and shoot it up.
No. It's never the hunters that go crazy.
No.
The hunters that know and respect the weapon
Yeah.
aren't the ones abusing the weapon.
Right. It's that one kid that had a terrible home life, and the girl he wanted to go with to prom rejected him.
Yep.
And that's just as much part of the problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's, my thing is, a gun is a gun, just as a rock is a rock.
Yeah. It's a tool.
If that weapon sits on a bed for all of eternity, it's never going to have a body on that weapon.
Yeah.
Just like a rock, leave it alone, it's still a rock.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt anyone.
Yeah.
If you want to cause damage with said rock or weapon, you will.
Yeah.
It's the evil behind the object that is the problem.
Yeah.
There is a lot more evil, and unfortunately, this whole problem that we face now is irresponsibility and letting not enough training. Did you know they took hunting out of PE like 30 years ago?
I didn't even know that
Yeah,
that existed.
Yeah, that was part of a curriculum.
Yeah.
Is a rifle. It was ingrained in the school system for a while.
Yeah.
There's never an easy answer. Do I agree with some things? Disagree? I think I'm a moderate.
Yeah. I mean, the people, when you say there's never an easy answer, there's going to be a lot of people who comment saying just ban them.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
luck.
Yeah, good luck. With
I'm
that.
on the team. Come and take them.
Mm-hmm.
I
respect
but at the
it.
same time, I understand the people that oppose it. For me and my camp, we have them.
Mm-hmm.
But me and my camp all are very proficient on how to use
Yeah,
it.
you know how to use it.
You know?
You're not going to go into a mall and shoot it up.
Hell no.
Yeah,
Never, ever.
You don't have that in you.
No. But I'm just saying, you need help one day, you know who to call.
I do, and I will call you.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
there's never an answer because it's all opinionated. It's all opinion based and belief based, and you can't change a belief system. It's just how I grew up. I always had them around me. I always had people that knew what to do with them, how to treat them.
Right.
So I view them as a tool. People that never existed in their life. That is a terror. I understand how that's a terrifying thing.
Yeah.
And those people shouldn't buy weapons. I would say the best thing ever is just going to a range and familiarizing yourself with it before you give an opinion.
Yeah, and that's something on my bucket list to do. Is like I know, like from what I said earlier, it's like I knew those people. I wasn't really friends with them, but I knew they existed, and I know they didn't have any malice. But I am not as familiar with it, and I would like to at least learn it.
I would say before anyone casts like a judgment on this specific topic, experience it and then draw your conclusions.
Yeah.
Because that's a fair way to do it.
Yeah, it's like an episode of the Jim Jeffries show when he went to a gun range with someone, and he afterwards he said, "I had a great time. I don't need to own one of them, but I had a great time shooting them. I understand."
Yeah, and that's it. And that's pretty much it. It's no one can stop evil for people that want to do evil.
Yeah.
Whether it be with a weapon or a brick or a knife or an axe or a car.
Yeah, or a cheeseburger.
Or a cheeseburger or poison. Like if you're gonna try to, hurt, you're going to find ways to hurt.
Yeah, you'll find a way.
Yeah. And the evil needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Anyway. That's my soapbox.
Yeah.
I feel like, hey, I get it. I get it's a topic and I understand it's a topic.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let us know what you think.
Oh, God.
2 thumbs up on this compilation here.
Yeah, Be Amazed. Is that the channel, Be Amazed?
Be Amazed? It's Be Amazed.
Cool.
You've earned our subscription and our like.
Hey, man.
So, thank y'all
Yes.
for liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting that bell, sharing it with your friends, and keeping an open mind.
Definitely, guys.
Till next time, wash your hands, scrub your toes, wipe your ass, blow your nose, embrace the suck.
And unplug and do something epic.
We'll see y'all next time.
Later.